Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton Daily Live. It's the press conference reaction. David Moyes has just completed his pre-match press conference ahead of Everton Fulham at Hill Dickinson Stadium tomorrow in a game, John, that it feels like Everton need to win. It's one win in 8, and they need to sort of pick the momentum back up.
Yeah.
Really. Obviously, a 1-1 draw at Sunderland the other night. It's not the worst result in the world, but when for half an hour, playing them and should be 2 or 3-0 up, to then end up with a draw has frustrated a lot of people, and particularly, and the manager called it an abysmal performance in the second half, and it was. It was a real disappointment, and following on from the defeat from City and Spurs, it just feels like before the international break, this is a game Everton have to win.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you just go right to left on the Sunderland game, we'd all would have happily taken a draw prior to the game, in the sense of they're playing well, they're undefeated at home, and they remain so. And I think I did it in one of the articles I did, that everything we're not, from energy and all, youthful pace, all that sort of stuff. But the game itself, you go, yeah, but what a lovely surprise that was for half an hour or so, And you've got to take your chances. And the thing that's systematic of what's been going on throughout our season, and smack me if I'm wrong, is we've not put together a full match performance. Where they don't turn up in the first half, or in this case, we don't turn up in the second, whatever. The manager doesn't seem able in game to impact the game through his substitutions. And sometimes his selections almost assure you of more of the same. Yeah. So all that building up, I think there's two things. One is, yes, you avoided saying it must win, right? Because one might argue all games are must win. But I think the manager has real serious pressure on him, issues, if we don't win. A loss would be an incredible disaster. And I think it might have been you.
Sensationalism there, John.
Well, it would. I think it would be a disaster. That's not picking words for, whatever. I think it would be a disaster if we lost. And I think it was you who said last week, or whenever I was last on, we got 4 points from the next couple of games. Everything will look rosier.
Well, better. I don't rosier, but it looked better.
My words, not a quote.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't got a memory like you to remember the exact word.
Yeah.
But
no, but they said they'd look a bit better.
Yeah, well, I think they were
4 out of 6. You can't really complain too much.
If you went through a whole season winning your home games and drawing your away games, then you'd win something probably. So I think another draw at home, particularly if we miss chances, would be perhaps give an easy out to the manager. Well, we're creating chances and we're not taking them, and look at me, my hands are tied, all that sort of bollocks, right? But ultimately, I don't think the manager at the moment is getting the most out of the resources available to him. And it would be great for me, personally, hopefully you, certainly James and others, if we won the goddamn game and put a performance together over both halves, which was less binary than it's been in recent times. Yeah. And I think we've got everything we need squad-wise to give Fulham a really hard time. They're not having a great time either, but they've got some good players. And if we miss our chances, I suspect they're in the category of if we give them chances, they will not miss them. Yeah. So fingers crossed and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I said the other day, in some respects, they're almost like the perfect opposition.
I nearly said that just
tomorrow, because they're a nice footballing side. They're quite open. They're below us in the league. And Everton have got to be a little bit aggressive in this and really get after them. And I think just the nature of Fulham means it's a decent opportunity for Everton. But, and I've said this all week, from a team that was a home banker for Everton for many a year, since they've come back up, we haven't beat them. In fact, they beat us in COVID and still went down, and then came back, and since they come back up, we haven't beat them at home, which is which is startling, really. I mean, we beat them away at Craven Cottage at the end of last season. But this is a an opportunity for Everton to bounce back. after the Tottenham game at home. You know, it was our first defeat at the new stadium. This is an opportunity to get back on the horse and go, now, our home form's going to be strong. And the fans have got a big part to play in this as well. You've got to make that atmosphere tomorrow good to keep the team on the front foot. And it's a game I think we do have to be on the front foot with, because I think if we allow them to settle, they do have good footballers. And if it's one of those games where it's quiet and they're not under real pressure, that's when we do find ourselves struggling.
So don't we have to start fast then?
We've got to be on the front foot.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I've said all week, requires changes from the starting 11. Tierno Barry's got to start for me.
So what's the change you want? Or changes?
I think I'd be looking at taking Jake O'Brien out.
Sure. Out altogether?
Well, if the manager feels like one of the two... I mean, Michael Keane had a good game the other night at Sunderland, so he's not right. I don't see him dropping Michael Keane. I don't see him dropping James Tarkowski because he's his captain. So therefore, where's Jake going? So
you basically, I think. Sorry, are you saying you want a right back change?
I'd have James Garner at right back tomorrow.
Yeah, I would. I'd have done that against Sunderland, but
and then
what do I know?
I think your midfield, it's a flip of a coin between Merlin Roll or Carlos Alcaraz. Probably have Alcaraz in there to start to drive us forward. And then you've obviously got Merlin Roll as the person.
First change.
So come on, that's the first choice. Dewsbury all play a little bit deeper alongside the Idrissa. And those two changes would hopefully get us on the front foot a little bit more, which still got the insurance. And then, you know, if you're 2-0 up and there's 20 minutes to go and you think, and we need to keep this, you can put O'Brien on and go, right, go and shore it up, whatever. And that's certainly what I'd be doing, because I think at home, it's an opportunity to get on the front foot. I think the next home game's Newcastle, Saturday night at 5:30. That'll be a good atmosphere because of them and because of Anthony Gordon and stuff. The manager might be a bit more cautious with them because of Anthony Gordon, who plays on that side each quick. He mightn't think James Garner's up to it there. I don't know. We'll see. And then the one after that's Forrest, who'll come in with Sean Dyche in his low block and hit us on the break. So he might want O'Brien for height in there. But this one Saturday is a chance to flip the narrative back onto we win, but actually only 3 points off a Champions League place, that kind of chat, and give us a bit of distance. But I just don't think keeping the same sort of team and going, there we go again. I'm saying that team couldn't beat Fulham, because it could, but I just think, how about getting on the front foot in some home games and really taking the game to Fulham, and then you've got the bench there to use. You know,
I agree, and mindful of every game's a game closer to the AFCON.
Of course,
the manager's got to get some views about who we can put in when we lose the players we're going to lose, and it's better to do those changes at home, where you have got the crowd behind you, and so on. And he's running out of games to do that, and that then brings Dibbling into play about when is he going to do well enough in training that the manager will give him a decent stint on the pitch. Well, one of the ways of giving him a decent stint is when you're bossing the game and you've perhaps got a couple of goal lead, isn't it?
Can't imagine.
Yeah. So, and you know, there are issues, but I think the manager can't just. I mean, when I saw the team Sunderland, I thought, well, there you go. We can talk till the cows come home about what we think is going to happen. Then the manager turns out exactly the same team.
Well, he did play Tierno Barry.
Yeah, I mean, same team as in,
but everybody
flick a coin, is it Beto or is it Barry, you know, sort of thing. But then they played on the front foot, which isn't sort of what, you know what I mean? So you got to repeat that fast start thing. Barry needs to, someone give him a cuddle, because he probably didn't feel great after getting hooked so early, which I think was wrong.
That was poor, yeah.
Very poor by the manager from a man management point of view. And so, if we keep going to the well, if we keep creating chances, Barry keeps getting on the end of them, then he'll score one. And in and die, we've got a guy who can do it off his own bat, you know. And just maybe, I don't know whether Garner would be making those decoy runs on an overlap.
Well, he does.
But we've seen him do it from left back, so why couldn't he do it from right back?
He does it from, and he can put a good cross in.
He can.
Because Jake, I wouldn't have a go at him because it's not his game. He's a centre back after all. Who's done a decent job as like a stopgap at right back. He's done well, but he doesn't overlap massively,
and his recoveries aren't great. So.
And when he does, his balls into the box aren't great because we just haven't done enough work on him doing it, or we haven't got him in to those areas for him to put. And again, it's not having a go at him. He's done a decent job as a stopgap right back. But obviously, David Moyes likes the insurance that he gives him for the height and the
physical side thing.
But I think at home you need a little bit more sometimes to get on that front foot. You need to play on the front foot and be attacking. And the fact that the manager's gone to that substitution in the last 2 games, that move in the last 2 games of putting Garner at right back and taking O'Brien off, suggests to me he's coming round to that and thinking maybe I need to be on the front foot a bit more, and Jake can't give us it. And again, he took him off after whatever it was the other night, and put last 20 minutes or something and put James Garner right back.
Yeah, and those, if you call that a trial, those sort of trials of starting a player and then you find out just because of, Iwobi would be on that side, wouldn't he? You might get...
Well, it depends. He flipped between Iwobi and Kevin.
Yeah.
The Brazilian. Kevin's only made 1 start, to be fair, Iwobi has, but last week Iwobi played centre mid.
Yeah. Well, he'll always come inside, sort of, won't he? But if you are trialling something, isn't that what 5 subs are for? You know what I mean? And this is a manager who doesn't use all his subs very often. And therefore, it's almost a free substitution, isn't it, if it's not working?
I just think if you get on the front foot, listen, it mightn't be the right thing to do for every home game. It might be, like I said, Newcastle might suit Jake O'Brien better. Playing that they're big. They've got Dan Burn who's big. You want your bigger players on there. He's probably better defensively than James Garner, and Anthony Gordon's very much on the front foot. So he might want O'Brien to go and sort him out. I get that, Do
you think the manager needs to make positive decisions rather than negative ones? The Man City, I want to keep the score down type subs, and perhaps the Sunderland one, I want to keep what I've got type subs.
He might argue that he didn't do that at Sunderland, though, mightn't he?
Well, he said something at half-time, or the players felt something at half-time that was like turning the light off.
Well, I think the Sunderland thing, and this was a problem for the team, not so much the manager, because Barry's missed a chance. Okay, but centre forwards miss chances. Centre forwards miss chances. That shouldn't mean the whole team stops playing. Yeah. You get him another one. See, there you go. So I don't know whether that was on the manager. I don't know what happened at half time. We came out and we conceded within 30 seconds or something of the restart. It was bad defending, rank bad defending, all over the place. And what Tarkowski's doing, being on top of Pickford, I'll never know. He should have been out. If he'd have got out, Pickford saves it. And he wasn't. He stayed in. So I'm hoping they've sorted that out. And then they just panicked. Instead of someone putting the foot on the ball and going, lads, just go and do what we were doing in the opening half an hour. Let's move, let's work, close the spaces off, work as a team moving forward, and we'll cut them open. We didn't. We just started kicking the ball up in the air.
What you just said, wasn't that the half-time talk?
Yeah, but
we lost our way.
We lost our way a little bit at the end of the first half. Then you get
half-time, don't you?
But it wasn't the same sort of way as it was the second half. Do you know what I mean?
That's because we conceded, yeah.
We come out and conceded that. I'm sure the manager will have said, when you're walking out the dressing room, every game you ever play, say to our kids, every game I ever played at any level I ever played at, when you're walking back out at that time, you're ahead. The manager always says, nothing silly the opening 10 minutes. Keep your shape, keep you do that. Every person who's watching this who's played football, I'm sure, has either heard that said to them when they're in the team, or said it if they're coaching or whatever. The first 10 minutes after the break, keep it tight, nothing silly, keep your shape, let the game settle down. And we go out, and we didn't. We allowed Michael Keane should have gone and closed the fella down. He didn't. He ghosted past him. He ran into 3 or 4 other people. They should have reacted. Tarky and Michalenko should have ran out. rather than staying on top of the goalkeeper.
We do that a lot, don't we? Stay.
But we go back to the line.
That's what I mean.
Seeing this the last 3 games, you know, City, Michael Keane's marking Haaland, runs away from him. Just stay with him, mate. He doesn't score. The second City goal, Tarkowski, instead of going to the ball, goes back towards his goal and deflects it past Pickford when Pickford would have saved it. Tottenham, Jake O'Brien's marking Van der Ven, runs back to the line, gives the lad a free header. You know, and then that the other night, Tarkowski's. I don't know what.
There's too many players there for it to be accidental, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is it a coaching thing?
I don't know.
Let's get bodies.
Unless they're doing zonal stuff. I don't know, because Pickford's fuming.
He is. Each time he's fuming.
So something's going on. I don't know what it is. But I can't imagine the manager said, lose your heads the way they did. You know what I mean? He's and the fact he come back in and said it was abysmal tells you he went... Quite clearly he wasn't happy. But there's someone on the pitch has got to take responsibility for that. So just get it down, start playing again. Let's turn them, let's do this. But then he brought Beto on and we couldn't keep the ball. Because Beto made himself easy to mark. You know, it was one of them. Sometimes Beto comes on, he knocks people about and you go, he's on this, he'll get us the goal here.
Palace, I think.
The other time, like, he comes on and he's a non-entity. And sadly, the other night he was a non-entity. It's too easy to mark. Getting caught under the ball again where the defender just holds him and it goes over his head. And you're like, oh my God, this is like a Sunday league strike.
Is that confidence, attitude, call it what you like?
Shouldn't, but the thing is, if confidence is Thierry Barry, skying it.
Yeah.
That's confidence. Beto is, I can't believe he doesn't understand what runs for me. And he's in the Premier League. I can't believe that. That's the reason. No. But I don't know what he's doing, because when balls are getting knocked back to front, you should be on the half turn ready to go.
Of course.
If you're side on, the defender's got an issue. Because he's got to be all over you, hands-wise. And if he misses it, you're in. And then he's in trouble. But they don't. He just allows them to come, because he stands like this. I've said before, for dropping it into his chest, of course, that's the way you stand, because you're going to take it, play it, and then you go. You're bringing people into the game. But when we're going long, you stand side on, because you're trying to get in a race with people. And the other night, when we knocked it, he just done that again, like he done at Leeds. And every ball went over his head and ran through to the keeper. And you're like, you're not even like jumping now either. Jump then, give them move your arms, not elbows, move your arms and knock them about. He wasn't even doing that. And then the next game, he'll like Saturday, he could be subbed tomorrow again. He should be. And he could come on with 25 minutes left and be fired up and knock them all over the place. And you're going, that's it. Right there, Beto, that's it. And that's the frustration with him, I think.
I think there's things going on we can't imagine. We can imagine, but we can't know. Can we? I mean, the manager talked last week, whenever it was, about wanting a focal point. You know, when he got the Julius question about Ndai, and he said, what focal point? And that's basically Barry or Beto. I don't know whether that somehow he's got it in his head wrong, Beto, or stuff's going in his head, it doesn't need to be there, about become a focal point, play with your back to goal, all that sort of rubbish, when it should be play what you're good at, play your game, right? Be on the half turn, back into people. If you can feel their arms round you, push them away, all that sort of stuff. A physical battle used to be what we thought he quite enjoyed. Now he's so easy to mark, it's not true. You know, and whoever's playing centre-back for Fulham will know, just this guy, you know, we know how to play him, right? Yeah. So it does need change. It's changed people or change the people type stuff, isn't it? Right? And what's there to lose by trying that change? When you've got substitutions in your pocket to put it back the way it was if you wanted to, without really costing yourself anything. Is Charlie worth another go? Is he in the extra? Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people, not everyone, people see things differently, don't they? Don't get me wrong, Alcaraz was a bit hit. Well, he didn't really get into it the other night when he come on, but he had a great opportunity to win it for us. Well, then that's swear he was going to chip the keeper, wouldn't you?
What I'm going to say is, though, that's one more opportunity than anyone else had, because he makes forward runs.
He does.
He runs that way.
I was going to say
others, and I like Dewsbury. I think overall he's been good for us. Might have dropped off a little bit the last couple of games. Well, first half now he was good and he did fade. But his natural game isn't to run beyond strikers. He gets hold of it and plays it and knits things together.
He's the link
He's
man.
good on the ball and all of that. Alcaraz takes us forward. So, yeah, I think at home you want to be on the front foot. Why wouldn't you have Alcaraz? Give him a go. Does he really deserve not to be getting starts? Well, he's helped us. He helped us last season when we needed it. Got us key goals, good performances. Get him on. Give him a go. Why go with the same three again and think something's going to
Be
click different? Because we keep doing it. I don't mind them reverting back to that three near the end or in a couple of weeks, whatever. Because I've got no issue with them going. He sees them every day, knows what they're capable of. I've got no issue with them thinking this team works for this game. It might not, but it's got to be that team that works for that game might not work for this game.
And that's the chat we've had before as well, isn't it? But the manager likes to almost, you get the feel, I'd always like to start the same 11. Yeah, make substitutions easier because you've probably done them before, right? And if you're creating chances, it's too easy. Is it too easy to say it's all on the strikers for not scoring?
Of course. Listen, I'm a big advocate of strikers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I look out for them more than anybody else.
Feed
I watch
them.
their game.
They need to. You know.
They'll miss chances,
course
especially
they will.
ours will miss chances. They're not great.
Yeah.
And in terms of the clinical, Erling Haaland
Misses more
generally has
chances.
the worst conversion rates around.
That's right, yeah.
At times, and he's unbelievable. And he keeps going. I've seen him miss glaring opportunities. Seen him put one over.
But you forget it because he takes the next one.
Exactly. Open goal and he put over the bar from underneath the bar. It's so hard to miss, and he did it. But you keep feeding him, and he'll take the next one.
And the next one.
And you take that, and you keep going, and you keep going, and sometimes you can't. You couldn't hit a bull's arse with a banjo, and then one goes in off your arse, and you hit 9 on the run. That's strikers. They can be like that. Sometimes it's confidence. Beto did it last season. I'm not saying Beto's unbelievable because he isn't, is he? But he's just a hard working forward. He got on a run last year. He got the confidence up. He scored some big goals for us. The club took a little bit of a gamble and gambled on that being his level, which is fine.
And it might still be.
And it could be. It could be streaky. He could get going again in a few weeks and does it again. But it hasn't happened so far. And therefore, that's why it needs changing. And that's why, for me, Barry needs a run in the team for a few games.
Yeah.
But elsewhere, there's issues. So, right now, there's a case for splitting the defence, the partnership up at the back, whichever side you fall on, Keane or Tarkovsky.
Because it's not a partnership that seems to... They don't address either of each other's...
No. And they're not getting the best out of each other,
That's what I mean, yeah.
But I'd understand why you might not want to if we're going to put someone at right back, so that's okay. But what I would say is that's not perfect, clearly. Things aren't working, so there's nothing wrong. We've got players. We've got good players. We've all thought the bench is stronger than it's been for a few years.
Yeah, got to use it.
But when he made some big changes, we went to Wolves and they were poor. So when you stripped it back collectively and put a new collection of players and they weren't up to it, like, now that could have just been that night. For what it's worth, we were the better team that night. But we still weren't very good. And they weren't very good. But they beat us. But changing a couple of them doesn't impact. It impacts it positively. You're not destroying the team. When you've got Mail and Roll, Charlie Alcaraz, who was sat on the bench, you can both play in midfield and do a good job. Tim Irabunum, who done well when he come on the other night. So there's 3. That's almost a whole new midfield.
Yeah.
Now, they're not going to come in and replace the midfield you've got as a 3, unless you needed to. But one of them could come in and improve it and mix it. We've tried Jake at right back. The manager keeps going to Garner at right back. So in his head, he's thinking, I need something that Jake can't give me.
Yeah.
Well, use that thing that Jake can't give you at 3 o'clock and have Jake sat next to you to do whatever job you need him to do at some stage in the game. You know, you're never going to take Njai out because he's the chief goal scorer, and at the moment he's on fire, you know, in terms of he can get you a goal from nothing. And Jack Grealish is key because he keeps the ball, he buys you time, but you want Jack to quicken it up. The 2 occasions he quickened it up at Sunderland, he hit the post.
Yeah.
First time he shifted it. The other one he gets it onto his right. Miko makes a run, gets onto his right foot, bends it in, and Barry should score.
Yeah.
Dewsbury all. You know, if that was Rowley to score because he's a bit bigger, he got his head to it. That's what we want Jack to do. Get half a yard, put it in. Get half a yard, put it in. Next one, hold it. Next one, thread Miko. Then they don't know what they're doing. But if you stop the ball all the time and wait, we're easy to mark. We weren't easy to mark at Sunderland because he done it quickly and people made runs. We've got to get the same right. Mix that team up. If we're walking the ground tomorrow, or you're in whatever it is, 1:45, and the team comes out,
as it will,
and it comes out and it's James Garner at right back and Alcaraz is in, or Merlin Roll starts.
Well, I was going to ask about Roll.
And Tierno Barry's up front. The people will be invigorated straight away. James will be in there, having the salmons going.
Where you going, mate?
No, he'll be there going, oh, that's good. He's changed it positively. Then you look at the bench and you've got Jake O'Brien on the bench now.
If you picked Alcaraz, you've got Roll.
You've got one to two on the bench there. You've got Beto to come on. McNeil's there if you want to put him on the left. Whatever it is, Dibling's there and you're thinking, I want to see Dibbling. But there's those choices here, they're all there as options. And you go, that's good. He's mixed it and we've still got good options. If we all go tomorrow and the only change from Sunderland is Beto for Barry, you just go like that again. We just go, you're still all in there going, we can beat these. Come on, we got go. But you sort of like, we haven't really done anything different. If Fulham are watching, looking at it, they'll go, this is what they do every week. So you're not catching Fulham out, are you?
We spoke, and you were the initiator of it, and I agreed then, and I would agree now, right? You just talked about the bench being stronger than it's been for a while. And one of the benefits you said about that, and it might have been pre-season or very close to this, early in the season, was it will be great that the opposition don't know what our team's going to be. Because the manager has options. They know he has options, but they bet that he's not going to use. He's not going to place many of those bets, is he? Right? We talk about having a starting 11, which fundamentally, really, outside of Ndiaye, say, from the Sunderland starting 11, say, lacks pace. Right? The two fastest guys in our squad don't get on.
Apparently, yeah.
Which is Roll and Dibbling. So I don't know. The trust in Moyes will get eroded. It's probably on its journey to being eroded now, which results will help. But people are going to be asking, what did we spend this money for? We're not going to play the players. How bleep expletive Dwight McNeil gets on the field ahead of some of those other players is completely and utterly beyond me. He has to be sat next to the door saying January transfer window, waiting for it to open so we can walk through it. And then the manager says, well, I'll have a dig at one of the other lads by saying he trained well. Well, if you think that's a 21st century man management approach, then you might have to realign that a little bit, right? Because that's a bit too blunt and crude to work, potentially with a young player as well.
And the other thing as well with McNeil is if you're going to give the lad a go, at least put him in a position where he might be able to.
Right side isn't really that, is it?
Can't play on the right. He's not quick enough. And the other night, if you're assessing it, he didn't have the best. He didn't hardly get in the game, and it won't have done himself any good because he was on the wrong side. So, and the other thing is people want to see Tyler Dibbling. Given Jai's going off, they want to see Tyler Dibbling because that's why we bought Tyler Dibbling. Absolutely. He's a right winger. So we bought him to replace the right winger. When the right winger goes off, we shouldn't be bringing on someone who the manager's sort of gone, yeah, I don't really want you.
But whatever he is, he's left-sided.
But he's a left side or he plays off the striker.
Yeah.
So it was all a little bit mad. But hopefully the manager will be on the front foot a little bit tomorrow. Because like I said before, a win changes things. It picks people back up. We go into that international break and we go, yeah, okay, we're closer to the European spots, which makes us all feel better. We've put a bit of distance, again, between other teams.
We'd have 5 on Fulham.
We've one ahead of that. But we'd be 4 ahead of Fulham, and whatever else. And there's only 2 3:00 games, isn't there? There's Everton and the other games. So by 5 o'clock, we'd be looking, going, we're in.
It looks good.
We're the same points as the Champions League play. We're 3 points off 3 points off, same points. 3 points off the Premier League champions who were in the Champions League place, that kind of thing. That's how you look at it. I think we can only go up to about 12th, to be fair.
I'm just looking, yeah.
Or something. But points-wise, would be right in the midst of all of those places, wouldn't we? And that's where we are right now, sticking in there. At the feet would be really damaging for us because
4 points. Yeah,
we'd have to be
15th. Might go 10th, depending on how
Depending
many
on
we could
what.
possibly win
so
by.
That's what it's like. And then you have a look. Someone else messaged me before saying, Moyes keeps calling Jimmy Gardner. Yeah, and that again changes narrative going into an international break. We don't play for 16 days after tomorrow. You know, and it's United away, which is not a ground we do very well at. But we'd have 16 days at least of feeling good about winning our last game and pulling ourselves into that other bit of teams. So that's what we have to do. David Moyes would never take Everton down, in my opinion, ever. I think he's got enough in him.
Not through choice.
I don't see it. I just don't. I think he's clever enough at getting points and knows how to get points.
Do you think he's in the foothills of talking down ambition? Because he keeps referencing when I came in, looking backwards instead of, he's answering questions
he
about...
He wasn't like the other one.
No, he's nowhere near as bad as
before I got it.
Forest manager. Yeah. But I do think he's trying to dampen down stuff which is covering up where we're at. If one of those people in the press conference said, that's one in so many games you've won now, yeah, then that's a real pointed question, right? So I do think it's best for all concerned if we win.
Well, that's it.
For all the reasons.
We want to win. I mean,
we want our manager to have a little bit of pressure off him as well, because he will revert to cautious Dave and grind it out. And I agree with you, by the way. I can't imagine, even with the squad he's got right now, with no additions in January, us ending up in a relegation spot. But if we lost it this weekend, and then you think, actually, you know what? It's forever ago since you won a game.
Well, you've got to think, right?
People will look at December's fixture list and all that.
For me, Everton, Moyes, we'd have no chance of going down. Right? That's my version, my thing.
I could never say no.
Over the season, right? If you said he's the manager till May, I'd be confident without a shadow. Everton would be comfortably away from it, right? But comfortably away from it might be fifth from bottom, but still. But I think the problem is when you spend some money and we're trying to go forward, and this is what, and the manager would say this himself as well, it's about gaining that momentum, isn't it? And we don't want to go through what we have to go through before you feel comfortable about there's nothing to worry about, you know what I mean? We could end up with 45 points and be nowhere near relegation and be 14th, 15th, and it's been a bit of a grind, you know, and that's what we were trying to get away from.
How many points did we get last year, Baz?
48,
yeah. So it's not acceptable to get less points.
No,
is it?
no. And
guy sitting in a bloody towel block in Houston, Texas, is thinking, "Hang on a minute, what? 45? Okay, well, we stayed up. Congratulations. Less points than we got last season, and I spent all this money."
I'm not saying it that Everton my opinion hasn't changed where Everton will
50 to 55 points.
I think Everton will be mid-table.
How many points do you think we'll get?
What did I say? 50 to 55, didn't I?
Yeah, it's pre-season, yeah. I must admit I'm wobbling on 55 to 60, but it's still possible.
Yeah.
I think the current run rate...
I still think we can get 50 points.
Yeah, the current run rate is about 46, I think.
I think we can get more.
I'll do the chart.
Again, no, it's the same. It's the same. It's just momentum. We got it. He come in and posted 31 points in 19 games. And the Villa game was really not his game.
No,
he had one day. So it was 31 points from 18 games, really, that he had more than one day to prepare for, which is European football. Or knocking on the doors of it, 62 points if you extrapolate it across the season.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
The first half of the season, we were terrible. We won 3. We've won as many games now as we did in the first half of the season last year. Right? Yeah. So therefore, win tomorrow, we've won more than we did in the first half of last season. We've still got, whatever. But that can't be the aim, can it?
No.
Because we spent 120 million in the summer or whatever it was, 110 million. And we're buying players who are better and we're trying to get forward. So that's what I'm talking about, momentum. If we can get momentum going, it shifts the narrative from Everton getting sucked back into this relegation-y fight, which it isn't really. But when you're still close to it, you still look and go, we don't want it to even be spoken about with that. Do you know what I mean? We want people to be saying, Everton are in the fight for the European place. It might not get anywhere near it, but Everton are 3, 4, 5 points off a European place. That and doing that. I think winning games consistently, and that sounds stupid, consistently might win every week, but what I mean is Everton have won 1 game in 8. They've won 3 overall. If Everton would have won 1 every 3rd game, we'd have the same amount of wins, but it's 1 every 3 games we win a game. People are feeling differently about it.
We said that before the season.
And that's what I'm trying to talk.
I think you're right. And, there's an argument there that if we were doing a counter-argumenty thing was, well, the previous manager would say when he came in at the beginning of the year and to the end of that season he did really well and then couldn't do it again, type of thing. So
did he do really well?
Well enough then, okay.
Because we had to go to the last day.
Yeah,
Lampard done really well because we were gone and he kept us up before the last day.
Yeah, but 2 of them, I think, when they came in...
Well, they done a good job. They both done...
The point is...
both done their MO, which was keep Everton up. The pair of them achieved it.
I get it. What I'm saying is I'm less receptive to... And I know the stats, and we've talked about it many times, and the run rate was terrific, right? But here we are with a different run rate, and we shouldn't be comparing the first half of this season with the first half of last season.
No.
For no other reason. We know how shit the previous manager was, right? So that's why it's important. And what we did say was we want the points to come on with regularity, right? So bracket the games and get so many points.
Yeah,
Great. And again, you're right. Winning 2 and losing 2 is much better, than winning 1 and drawing 3 in perverse world and all that sort of stuff. I know those sums don't add up, but you know what I mean.
Well, the same points.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, right? And undefeated runs which are full of draws, and all that sort of stuff. And right now, we don't know, do we, whether our poor run recently is due to the teams we were playing, because let's face it, they all expect to finish in the top 6. I did a thing, about who we've played, and we've played more teams in the top half, all that sort of stuff. That means when we play teams according to the league table who aren't as good, we need to close them out. Yeah. And we can all sit here and go, well, where would we be if we beat Villa? Where would we be if we beat West Ham? Where would we have been if we'd beaten Sunderland? 6 more points on top of what we've got.
Second. I've got no guns.
We'll be in the top 5-ish, wouldn't we?
6 with 17 points. Yeah, we'd be there or there.
And we'd be saying, let's go 2nd or 3rd or whatever it is by beating Fulham. So they're marginal.
Of course,
and you talked at the beginning of the season, if you can get points early on, which we did, then it takes a long time
to filter back.
Failing to perform to get you in a mess. And I think we're dangerously on a cusp.
No, we are.
So let's kick it again. Yeah. And we also know historically with this manager, he tends to come back after a defeat or a poor or both, right, with something better out of his players, even if he doesn't change the team itself, right? But he does have the advantage here of not only can he get into the heads of the players, kind of, come on, great stadium, great noise, blah, blah, but he can actually make the team itself better with a few tweaks.
And the other thing what a few people are saying as well is he's always has a strong second half of the season, boys. And Everton have always done that.
I think that's an important point as well, although me being a half-full person occasionally would be. Historically, when he was the manager, we had a poor start. Yeah. Right? And
no, well, that's it.
Therefore, to get us where he got us, we had to have a good, So we've had I think a good start and then a bit of a wobble. Good, small G. A bit of a wobble, but opportunity to kick on.
The way to look at it is if we win tomorrow, when we win tomorrow, we've got almost half points from the games.
Yes, and
we'll have 15 from out of 33, won't we? Yeah. Which is just below half points.
That's 11 games, isn't it?
Okay, yeah. So you'd look and go, all right, well, that's not terrible. That's okay. But it's kicking on. But it's about wins. It doesn't matter. And I like David. Everyone knows I like David Moyes. It doesn't matter whether I like him or I don't like him. It's about momentum, and we've got to create momentum. Right now, we've won 1 in 8. So tomorrow we can put that to bed, can't we? Because we win tomorrow, the narrative comes, well, we haven't won 1 in 8, we've won 2 in the last 5.
Absolutely.
And we've drawn.
We've only lost 1 in so many games, all that sort of stuff.
We've lost 1 in 2 games.
Absolutely.
But it becomes 2 wins in 5.
Yeah.
Or you go, well, the last 6, Everton have won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. That's not a bad return.
No, it's not.
If Everton take the next 6...
If you then look at who we played and all that.
No, but you know what I mean? Then you go, the next 6, well, Everton do win 2, drawn 2, lost 2, everyone will be going.
Here's the thing. All right. Here's the thing for you in particular, right? If we talked about what a good outturn for the season would be, And I'm sure, and I think we've talked about this before, that clubs, managers, whatever, must have brackets of games and think, where should we be after that group, whatever, right? We know what the biggest bracket of 38 games is. You say 50 to 55. Pre-season, I said 55 to 60. We win at the weekend. That run rate is 51. So we've got to be careful. We don't let our heads fall off as fans. The big picture is, at this stage, we should have roughly the points that a win should bring to achieve
what we saw.
A 50 plus.
I think the problem is, and we all probably sort of done this a little bit, when we won the 2 out the first 3 and we looked at the league and we were 4th and 5th, you start getting all excited, don't you, going... And the Villa, that's why the Villa games are kicking the ball, show me.
They were always
dreadful.
Yeah.
They came and just put everyone behind the ball. They had one shot of any note in the game. I needed the keeper to make a couple of worldies, but we missed glaring opportunities. And we'd have beat them that day, that momentum would have been... Then we had to go to Anfield. We normally lose at Anfield, and we did. It's been those moments. Then you go, all right, well, West Ham at home represents a great chance to get momentum back. These are crap. We get ahead and we can see the goal and we can't beat them. We'd have beat West Ham, but who knows, we might have beat West Ham and not beat Palace the way we did, and we could have been 3-0 down to Palace before we even started.
That's the outlier at the moment, isn't it?
So that's the thing, isn't it? So we have to look at it and go, okay, and then where City and Spurs massively shocking defeat. City wasn't, because we...
And not Spurs the way they play away from home.
But Spurs is a frustrating one, because we were actually the better side, but they'd done a great number on us, great away performance, and that's where they're good away, aren't they? So you have to go, okay. So Sunderland the other night, many of us, I think, 5 to 8 would have gone, take a point here, as long as you beat Fulham. So now it's on this. We win tomorrow. Like I said, we're nearly a half points for the games, and you go, all right, that's not a bad start. Sure. Going to Old Trafford's a tough one, but they're not. I still look at United and go, they're not amazing. Got some good players, but they're still the way they are. It's just that we don't tend to perform at Old Trafford. We're pretty garbage there every year, so that's a challenge, I guess, for everybody going there that night. But first things first, these, like I said, we haven't beat them since they come back up, so we owe these, and we owe them big time tomorrow.
We do, and because, as you said before, before today, even how close games make change. Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
One win changes it all.
Of course.
You just talk. Oh, we did offline about why Charlie just chipped the bloody goalie type of thing.
Or just give it back to Ghana and carry on running, so he could give it back and get happy.
Exactly right. Go
full FIFA, little sweaty goal.
But, when because we're talking 50, 55, 55, 60. Clearly 60 is a lot.
Yeah.
Classic if but. We beat Sunderland, then we beat Fulham. We're nearer to 60 run rate. So it's not Armageddon, is it?
No.
2 results are the difference between, a run rate of 55 plus, right? And heaven forbid we lost. God knows what the run rate would be then, but clearly it'd be low.
But everything
below
can
50.
Everything can be picked back up with a couple of wins.
Of course it can.
So that's why you'd have to look at it like that.
And let's have some lucky ones.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Bobble Wobble Blue says, sounds as if Dibbling isn't impressing in training, and the belief is still in Beto to start a scoring streak. Yeah, I mean, I did say this the other day. I've said this all week, that the Dwight McNeil substitution felt more like a smack on the back of Dibbling's legs rather than bringing Dwight on simply by the manager's answer when he was asked in the press conference as why the sub. If he'd have gone, Dwight's been really good in training, I looked at something different, I wanted them to get it, he was going to give us a bit more cover, blah, 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 blah. I'd have gone, oh, fair enough. He just said one line very quickly, he's trained well, and looked away, as if that, don't ask me again. And so that to me, and then obviously he's elaborated a little bit on Dibbling, he needs to do more in training, and that just, because I'm experienced with David Moyes as an Everton manager, and also knowing the way he is and things like that, is that you know what he's saying sometimes without him saying it. So Dibbling has got to step up. If he's not training well enough, get your head down, work a bit harder. Same with all of them. They all should be chomping at the bit to get in this team, because this team isn't winning every week. So every one of them should be going, I'm going to do my bit. This is not a good side, like a good side as in it's winning all the time. Got good players. As it pieced it together, and I'm going to do my bit. I'm going to do the extra bit to make sure that I get put in this team. If you really want it, you know.
I'm with you on
desire.
The Dwight McNeil thing and the way he reacted to why sort of thing. But I'll go back to what I said in the summer, in and around the summer series and stuff, when he was bitching and whinging about some departments not doing their job and all that sort of stuff. Don't do that in public. No need. Because not only... Okay,
But he was asked, though.
No, I get it, but...
Because then if we're going to... Hang on, John. I do have to jump in here just slightly. If we want him to be... if we want him to be open so we see value in the press conferences, sometimes he does have to come out with stuff like that, I think.
Well, he could have come out with the positive reasons why he brought Dwight McNeil on, whether you believe them or not, without allowing a whole fan base to conclude that Dibbling isn't working.
But I don't think the whole fan base did, because I didn't hear any. I said it.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just the people in my WhatsApp groups and stuff. But yeah,
but
okay.
I'd said it, and people in the comments were like, "Yeah, I didn't, you know, whatever." I don't think everyone was thinking of it the other night. I'm talking about today.
Almost
now today. So what he's done is he's sort of give you a bit more beef, meat on the bone.
Yeah.
I think he's got to answer some. If he's ultra evasive, we'd already go. This is a press conference where he's not going to.
I don't want him to be evasive per se.
So he's got to answer it, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it's how you answer, isn't it? Right? It's a joke by me. This next bit. You say, well, not everyone spotted the hidden meaning in, why he brought Dwight McNeil on. So today he's flagged it. It's because Dibbling isn't working hard enough.
Well, he was asked to elaborate.
Yeah, well, okay, so he could have done the elaboration like you just said, which was, well, I thought this, right? But he didn't. He had a go at a young player who, when he went to a bigger club previously, lasted 5 minutes and went home, right? And I just don't think that's good man management at all. There's no need for it. And the other thing is, if he allows the audience, which is us as fans, right, to conclude that Dwight McNeil came on because Dibbling isn't working hard enough in training, it impacts Dwight McNeil as well.
No, well, I'm sure Dwight McNeil did train well.
Yeah, no, it impacts him as, had the other fella been training well, mate, I wouldn't have brought you on, I'd have brought him on.
Well...
So I just think there's no need for it. Maybe it's a level of subtlety that's,
I think
not
with
in
Dwight, he should have put him centrally or bad.
Yeah.
On the other side, not on the right. Doesn't work on the right.
No, you're right.
But we all want the same thing tomorrow. Doesn't matter who plays. We want to just see the lads, whoever it is with the shirt on, go out and perform. That's all we want. I don't care if it's bloody Michalenko up front. I want him to score a hat-trick. Do you know what I mean? We all want the same thing. We all want Everton to win games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we get on the front foot, then why not? Why not? Like you said, they got some good players, but they're Fulham. And they're below us already. You know, we think we're struggling a little bit. They're below us.
Yeah, Marco's having a...
Well, I think they've all caused it because the uncertainty around this contract.
Yeah.
And because they didn't buy players, and he was
not very happy.
We were in the States, and him and Oliver Glasner, to be fair, were having right goes at their board. And we were saying, well, our manager isn't having the right goal. He's hinting it. They were fully out there going, this isn't good enough, this isn't good enough.
Glasner in particular.
Silva.
Yeah, but Glasner did a power play sort of thing, didn't he?
Well, he did, because he just won stuff, but Silva got some players in on deadline day. He bought Kevin for 35 million on deadline day and things like that, but you shouldn't have to go to war with your owners to get them to do whatever. But then again, it depends what... You know what Fulham are like, it depends what they want.
Going to predict the result then, Baz?
For Everton tomorrow? Yeah. I think we'll win.
Beyond a win. Are we going to suddenly turn up and score loads of goals?
No, of course we're not.
So a tight game?
I think we'll win 2-1.
Yes. I was going to ask, do you think we'll concede?
Yeah, of course we will. Because Brantwaite's not playing. Yeah. So, I mean, what are you going for?
Sadly, I'm with you in the sense of we'll concede. I think, and lots of it spins around when, if we concede from 0-0, it's one outcome potentially. We concede from 1-0. That's less dangerous, I think, than conceding from 2-0 up. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Maybe that's why the 2-0 up is such a scary score.
Just win 3-0, Everton.
But yeah, I think get the deciding goal whenever that is.
Just score 3 in the opening 20 minutes and just bore the rest of the game. I don't care.
Pretend we're playing Brighton.
Must be tight.
Brighton away, every time we attack, we score. Yeah. That'll do for me.
Zach was going through that for some reason the other day. We were looking at some of them results, and it was like, we had 22% possession, and we had 6 shots in the game and won 5-1. Brighton had like 23 shots or something, but we won 5. I think we both had 5 on target. Because James Garner missed
Jimmy then.
Great shot. Jimmy Gardner missed an absolute sitter of 3-0 right on half time for 4-0. It got blocked. He should have just slotted it, and he took too long, and it got blocked.
And Messi McNeil, but he tapped it in from 2 inches
John,
away.
I can't have that. I've never been on board with that nonsense.
I tell you what,
but he had a storm of that. There's 2 goals that day. Whites were brilliant.
And that was the first game I took my great nephew to, away game that is, and he couldn't believe it. He actually said
he couldn't believe it.
He actually said at half time, "What's going on?"
I said what's going on when we were 1-0 up after 30 seconds. Gary Ward says, Hardy. Chris Davies says, afternoon fellas, great questions by Julia. They were, to be fair.
Every week.
They were really good. And you could hear Julia.
Yeah.
Moyes didn't seem too keen, and his answers were a bit thorny. Yeah, might be feeling a little bit of pressure, mightn't he?
Yeah, that's what you said since the
football,
finish, wasn't it?
You know, he would do, wouldn't he? Stephen Strong says Moyes' comments on Dibbling shows he sees him solely as a right winger. What it also highlights is his lack of versatility when thinking of player positions. Blue Keeley says, though, I wouldn't say that with him playing O'Brien at right back. He's got a history of it. Okay. Mark Mack says Fulham are a good, solid Premier League team. Question based on football history and heritage. Where would you rank Fulham? Are they a Premier League or more Championship or lower? Well, they've been in the Premier League I know they've been relegated a couple of times, but over the last 25 years...
Don't know how long.
I think they've been in the Premier League for about 20 of them, 21 of them.
Wow.
15 is
15 consecutive years. Yeah.
No, not consecutive, because they got relegated in...
15 out of the 20 odd years.
Yeah.
2002.
When did they last get in the Premier League?
2021, wasn't it? It was beat us in COVID, but went down.
Right.
Then they got silver in and blitzed it. Mitrovic got about 9 million goals.
Yeah.
And then they come back up. So I think they've been up for the last 4 years, I think.
Right.
And they've won. They've won at Goodison 3-1, 1-0, and we drew last year 1-1. Beto scored an injury time. So that's the last. But they've won 3 of the last 4 at Everton.
First season back was the 22-23 season.
And they won 3-1, didn't they? Under Deitch beat us 3-1 in April.
Yeah. I was in the press box for that.
And then they beat us 1-0 the start of the second season in the last minute. Well, no, they beat us 1-0 when Thingy scored. After about 20 minutes to go. The Cordoba scored, didn't he? From on the line. Was it Cordoba? The one who then went to Leicester. What's his name? Come on as a sub. Sure, is it Cordoba? I got that wrong.
Cordoba.
No one doesn't. No, Cordova. Isn't it Cordova?
Yeah.
Cordova tapped it in.
They're Cordova Reed, isn't it?
Cordova Reed, yeah. Tapped it in on the line. And then last year, Iwobi scored, and then Beto equalised, and then was punching the floor, remember? And crying because Deitch had basically just treated them awfully.
I'm just looking. It looks like
we just don't beat them at home.
It looks like I'm not 2 or 3 years out in the last 20.
So overall, you'd say they are a Premier League team because they've been in for that long. So, Paddy says, all right, guys, hope you're well. Coming off my first Hill Dickinson visit tomorrow from across the country. Starting the drive at 6:15 a.m. to get right up to the back of the South Stand for 3 o'clock. See you there. You won't see me at the back of that South Stand, but you will see me in the East Lower if you look down. And hopefully we rock up for the full 90 and Barry gets on the way with a few goals up the Toffees. Absolutely, Paddy. Enjoy it. It's fantastic, so enjoy it, mate. Kieran says, big game tomorrow. If we win, it's been a decent start to the season. If we lose, it's a horrible start. The worry is scoring goals, but got to be winning these games. Mark Mack says, Garner or Coleman, right back, roll in and keep faith in Barry. Fair play. Ian the Blue says, afternoon, all nice to see John back. See, Dew scored another last night. Hopefully, as Baz said, he's on our radar for January.
Yeah, Baz mentioned him off camera.
Yeah. Daniel Church says, tomorrow it's no point in checking the lineup come 2 o'clock. When announced, Moyes will keep the same side. Hope I'm wrong. I'd play Alcaraz and roll and put Garner right back. Okay. Ian says, I think he pissed a lot of the fans off with that McNeil sub on Monday. I was certainly one of them. And Charlie said he pissed a lot of the fans off after the cup game at Wolves. Still tickets available. 49 tickets left for the Fulham game tomorrow, says Michael Kearney. Jay Radcliffe says, I feel Moyes knows what we know in terms of squad deficiencies. I just think he has a different way of looking at cures than what we do. Still behind the man myself up the Toffees. Yeah, he'll know exactly what we need. I think what people get frustrated with, and I think Ped's mentioned this, and I talked about it yesterday, they're like, out of your 100% for Moyes, like 70%, you like love him and the admiration, and then there's 30% or 25 to 30 that makes you go, why aren't you just doing that? Why do you keep doing this thing? Relax a little bit because you're a good, you know what I mean? And I think that's where people get frustrated. Obviously there's people who don't like him, but I think a lot of people, even the ones who really like him, will go, oh, he does my head in the way he does that. Steve P says, Baz, watching Midtjylland against Celtic last night, and I think we definitely should go after Francolino due. Clearly too good to be playing in Denmark. He's the polar opposite to the two we have right now. He's got the natural technical ability with the left foot, can comfortably play on the right wing as well. He's strong and quick and a really good dribbler. I feel like if we're genuinely interested in him, like the reports are saying, we need to just go for it in January, because he'll inevitably go somewhere else and be really good. I'm with you, Steve. I'm with you. I said this in August, though. Go and get him. Go and get him. He can do the two jobs. Why are we waiting around? And we didn't. We just sat on our hands. And now look at him. He's got 13 and 13 in the Danish Super League and 4 in the Europa League.
Is he the sort of player the manager would say no to?
Probably because he's never played in the Premier League. But who knows? I don't know.
I mean, I think there's an override decision with player acquisition sometimes. Where,
but then if he's not going to play him.
Well, that's the point. But you just talked about a player there who's got all these attributes, right? And someone else will get him.
But he will.
And we'll have that good old-fashioned, like we do that.
Here we go again.
And, you know, lots of these players, just like lots of managers, want to come to the Premier League, don't they? So as long as you set your stall out that, right now, mate, you might be 3 of 3, but who knows?
You say we need goals, you're scoring, in you come. Son.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can play you right, left, through the middle, off the striker. Can do it all.
Yeah.
Get him. Mark Mack says Moyes did mention twice about the fullbacks not giving goals or assists. Maybe that's a hint of changing it. Possibly.
Indeed. I think he was talking around January as well, talking about we'll be active, which is wholly inconsistent with what the chief exec said, which was we wouldn't be. So there you go.
I think they are looking though. I'd be shocked.
Angus talked about we'll be opportunistic, but it's and give David his due. He also said it's not typically a window when you get sort of what you want. So maybe active just meant we're observing, and if the players we want or kind of players we want become available, we're in there. And again, before we start getting questions next week, I don't think there's any real financial constraints on us doing stuff. So it's all going to be sporting decisions, isn't it?
Gray Lead says, Robert Jones says, I love Moyes, but I'm getting deja vu from Dyche at the moment. We keep playing the same team even though it's not working. Even the subs are too late and ineffective because he's playing it safe. Interestingly, this season we have the same points per game Dyche had over his tenure. Why do you think Moyes seems unwilling to change? Well, let's see if we have the same points as Dyche had when we get to the end of the season. Because I know that we've got more points now than we've had for the last 4 seasons, apparently, at this stage. Oh, sorry, since Benitez, at this stage of the season, apparently. So the stat come out the other day. I don't know whether that's right, wrong, indifferent, I don't know.
It wasn't dissimilar from Dyche.
Gray Leeds says, this stuff is Moyes all over. I was saying the same things about him 16 years ago. Joe O'Brien says, I've got a horrible feeling it'll be the same starting lineup as last Monday. Only change will be Beto for Barry, which, by the way, shouldn't be made. And not using the bench is very annoying. Correct. Steve P said, if Tyler Dibbling is genuinely the fastest player in the squad, then that's very worrying and says a lot. We must be the slowest team in the top 5 leagues. Don't know. Are we ever going to get a striker coach as Gray Lead? I don't know. Colin Mackham says, please don't shoot me. Would you just not play the strikers and play Alcaraz and roll and put James Garner right back? So play Alcaraz up front? No. I wouldn't personally. because he doesn't play there. So what are you going to... He's not lightning pace, so what are you going to get from him? He likes to pick the ball up and run, not playing with his back to goal. But he used to say, I'm right and you're wrong, Col. I don't know. Blue Keely says McNeil has to be sold in January for me. Well, he probably will. Charlie Freak says, need to go out and dominate over the 90 minutes instead of the usual 30 minutes per game. Mark Bagley says, and Jai, his goal involvement in games seems to drop off. Certainly we've stopped playing down the right in some games, but I also think he goes out of the game somehow. Did you guys see that also? I'd like him to stay involved, but it's the perfect opportunity to... Well, he has been doing that lately. He's been really good in the first half and not on the game in the second half. So I don't know whether... I don't think it's a conscious decision. We do give the ball to Grealish more than we do to him.
We go left, particularly from KDH.
Paul Williams says, I think if we as fans get behind the team tomorrow and do our part, test how loud we can really make the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Start the momentum, let's go.
Raise the record, yeah.
Yeah. Great lead, nice and positive, says we'll get battered by United. Fair play. Let's worry about that in 2 weeks, not now. David Savage says, I don't think he was saying dibbling a try, and he's just saying Grealish and Illy, it's hard to break in. He'll get us. He did say later on about the training. He said that first.
He did,
and then he did. Go and listen to it again. Jay Radcliffe says, dibbling needs Rooney's attitude. I may be young, but these are crap, and I'm having your place. And guess what? You ain't moving me. I'm not saying he's Rooney's levels, but that should be his outlook. He might be, mightn't it? I mean, yeah, I get it. You're right. But he might have that. I don't know Tyler Dibbling, so I don't know what he's like. Ian the Blue says, Forest will probably have half their squad up for sale in January. They'll want to bail after playing for Gravel Gob.
Well, he'll be out at the end.
Well, he'll have to start winning, otherwise Forest will sack him again in December and go for manager number 4 or whatever it is. You know what that Maranakis is like? Loves to change it every other week, doesn't he? If it doesn't get what he wants, he sacks you, and he doesn't seem to care how much he has to pay the person going out either.
Must be getting PSR issues with all these paying off.
He just seems to go, you're not good enough, I'm sacking you.
But they sell a lot of players, don't they?
It's mad. Right, big thanks to John, big thanks to everyone who joined. Just make sure you check out the match preview. And Ped starting 11 will be out later as well. And if you're a Premier member, Business with Blaine will be out at 5 o'clock. Up the Toffees. Come on, boys, just win. See you all later.